This show is clean, pretty much.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 632. Hello. My name is Mike Matthews, and I am broadcasting from the last place on earth, located somewhere in Podcaster Valley, California. Today, Madame Rootabega, Valentino, Bison Bentley, plus the return of the feature into an interview where I talk to author and cuddle expert SAMANTHA HESS about the art of cuddling. And we'll also find out why The Biggest Loser is the worst television show ever. Mike's Daily Podcast. But last show, there was something that happened that I thought was kind of clever. Mike's Daily Podcast. The brewmaster made a root beer that made my hips grow, and now I can hula hoop like a so-and-so, and I am so badass. But anyway, I'd like to say I'm really excited about lasagna that you can make in a crock pot. And I discovered something that I'm going to share with you now. Mike's Daily Podcast. That if you don't use noodles, you end up with lasagna soup. Mike's, if you're doing it daily in the crock pot podcast, because the noodles soak it up. Yeah. So because they soak up the juices that happen just in a crock pot because things are simmering and sauces are mingling and everything. Okay, I'll tell you the recipe real quick. Lasagna, well, in this case, soup. In the crock pot, you have on the bottom sauce, which is, you got your marinara sauce mixed with, I use ground turkey. You can use ground beef, whatever you want. Then the next layer is cheese, but it's mozzarella, low-fat mozzarella cheese mixed with cottage cheese. It creates like a faux ricotta. And then the next layer, I usually put noodles down, but in this case, I used squash. And I think that's another reason why it got so soupy, is the squash was I just sliced it and put it in there, and when it's cooking, it's losing all its water. So that layer, those layers I just mentioned, that pattern, you continue all the way up to the top. So that's how you make the lasagna soup. But I have used wheat noodles in the past, and it soaks up some of the juices. It's good. It makes the house smell like a pizza parlor. And that's exactly what you want, isn't it? In place of noodles, I tried using quinoa on the bottom, which I know some of you are like, ugh. But it actually kind of worked. It soaked up a little bit, but, the noodles work better. So, something else I'd like to share with you. Hey, guys, look who just walked in. Hello, Mike and Masters. This is Madame Rootabega. That'd be an interesting vegetable/fruit. Rootabega. Yes. So, Madam, I was just about to tell this story about how Paul Simon and Sting are going to be touring together. They're kicking off their tour in all places but Houston, Texas. Actually, they're doing that in 2 days. And I did not know this. They've been pals since the late 80s when they were neighbors in a New York apartment building, according to RollingStone.com. They have never performed as a duo. Until last May, they played acoustic versions of The Boxer and Fields of Gold at the annual Robin Hood Foundation benefit. And that must have been cool. Sting's got the higher voice. Ooh, kind of like the Art Garfunkel and Garfunkel and Simon. Simon and Garfunkel. Whatever. Yeah, so what a interesting combination. What's really cool, as I'm reading this article, is some of the mashups they're going to do during the concert. They're going to attempt Brand New Day, which, Sting wrote. It originally had Stevie Wonder playing harmonica on it. He thinks that would pair nicely with Paul Simon's 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. It's promise of a brand new day. It's a song about a beginning and a song about leaving, Sting says. So that's why he thought that would work. Also, Simon would like Sting to tackle Bridge Over Troubled Water. Not that I want to imitate Art Garfunkel, says Sting. He has one of the most beautiful voices in the history of pop. But I can hit those notes, and, he adds with a smile, it might have more resonance now with Chris Christie and his whole thing with bridges. Both men have other projects underway. Paul Simon is working on a new studio album, and Sting is planning for the June opening in Chicago of his musical called The Last Ship, which will hit Broadway in the fall. So this tour is going to be awesome. They're going to do duets throughout the tour. Paul Simon wants to do Sting's Fragile. How fragile we are, how fragile we are. And Sting may do Simon's The Boy and the Bubble and the Boy and the Baby with the Baboon Heart. And I believe that these are days of it. Yeah, that's going to work. That's going to be awesome. You know, Paul Simon did a tour years and years ago, probably, I think, a good 20 years ago, with Bob Dylan, which I heard was an excellent show. And they would flip a coin every night to see who would start off the concert. Paul Simon would do a set, or Bob Dylan would do a set, and they would rotate each night.
Michael Matthew, sing some more of The Boy in the Bubble.
Well, let's see. There was a big flash, and the something wired up to the baby carriage. Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. Look who else just walked in.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we do not want the Paul Simon or the Sting to do Bridge Over Troubled Water. That would be a slap in the face of the beautiful and divine Chris Christie.
Yeah, leave him alone. Big man Christie needs to be left alone. Do you know that? What is Chris Christie's a large man. The new de Blasio, mayor of New York, he is huge. He's tall. He was on the, what's that show? The Daily Show with Jon Stewart, and they ate a pizza together, and Jon Stewart was trying to teach him how to eat without a fork and knife, because he tends to eat pizzas with fork and knife.
Yeah, we don't like that guy. He's not part of the Tea Party.
Yeah, we only like the big guys that are part of the Tea Party that look like they would never drink tea in a million years. Do you know that?
Oh, okay. Well, if you guys, to each your own. That's what makes America great, is we can all follow and be fans of whoever, or is it whomever? But back in the 80s, Simon and Sting, Paul Simon and Sting, they came out with albums. Sting came out with The Dream of the Blue Turtles. That was his first solo album. Paul Simon had Graceland. Those albums came out around the same time. And I was a teenager then, in high school. Those two albums, they were pop albums. They were huge. They were charting big time on the charts. They had songs that were getting played on the radio. But they were also way light years ahead of any album that was out right now. They incorporated world music, which nobody knew what the heck world music was back then, except for like Peter Gabriel, who was putting it on his album. But you had like Sting and Paul Simon using like all these cool different influences on their albums that were also popular and had big hits, like You Can Call Me Al, and Sting had the big songs like If You Love Someone, Set Them Free, or Fortress Around Your Heart. They were awesome albums, and I remember just listening to them over and over again. And it's so cool to see that they're... Am I going to buy a ticket for the tour? Probably not. That's the only thing. These big name tours, so expensive to get a ticket. Forget it.
Michael Matthew, maybe if you bring them your lasagna soup, they'll let you in for free.
Yeah. So this is also something interesting. Speaking of food, this show has to do with health today because of our guest and because of the fact that I was talking about a soupy, low-fat lasagna crockpot recipe. And also The Biggest Loser, which I have stopped watching. I've told you many times about why. But one of the reasons is something like this that hit the NewYorkDailyNews.com website. Rachel Fredrickson made headlines when she broke the record on Tuesday night as the tiniest Biggest Loser winner to date. Her trainer, Dolvet Quincy, has spoken out after fans questioned whether or not the now 105-pound 24-year-old, who started at 260 pounds, was at a healthy weight. And somebody that I'm Facebook friends with, who's really into health, she's one of the first people I ever met that was into CrossFit, and this was before CrossFit got really trendy. She posted on her Facebook, "That's just ridiculous," when she saw Rachel Fredrickson revealed and how thin she was. She goes, "That girl is sick. She's not healthy. That's not a healthy weight. Dolvet said this: Biggest Loser is a journey which has its ups and downs. Please try not to look at one slice of Rachel's journey and come to broad conclusions. Rachel's health is and always has been my main concern, and her journey to good health has not yet ended. But you can read a lot into that statement. Something tells me that woman starved herself to try and win the big money on The Biggest Loser. And another sign of how extreme her weight loss was that the other two trainers on the show, Bob Harper and Jillian Michaels, who have both of them have amazing bodies, and they have some really good, health, fitness ideas, but they looked shocked when they first saw the reveal of Rachel Fredrickson. Their jaws dropped at the sight of her during the live finale, and you can't cover that up. I mean, it was live, and they had to, we see these two trainers are obviously disturbed by this. But what do you think about it? Oh, wow. Yeah, they are. Bob Harper looks like he's like, oh no, that's the wrong way to lose it. And Jillian Michaels looks like, oh no. In fact, she said on her Facebook, we're not comfortable commenting on Rachel's journey. I love how they call it a journey, because we weren't her trainers and weren't given an opportunity to work with her at any point, she wrote on Facebook. Fredrickson, who is a voiceover artist in Los Angeles, is very pleased with how many pounds she shed. If you're a voiceover artist, why the hell do you care how heavy you are? It kind of doesn't really matter. They don't see what you look like. But I guess that's Hollywood. She said, I'm extremely proud of the way I lost weight on the show. I followed the advice and the support of the medical team on Biggest Loser. I have this brand new life ahead of me. What's probably the thing that I will never watch Biggest Loser for is that NBC supports her, and they're going to keep doing the show, and people are going to keep losing their weight in an extreme way. And then I just don't like the whole way they reveal the winner at the very end of the show, and you see him or her, and then they just go, okay, Allison Sweeney goes, thanks for watching, bye. And you're like, wow, I wasted 6 months watching that? But what do you think about The Biggest Loser? We read your comments on the section, emails from email. I'm excited to find out if you're a big fan and what you like about it, and what do you think about Rachel Fredrickson's starving herself. It's what it looks like. Email me, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. And you can also email me there if you'd like to be a guest on the show or if you'd like to sponsor the show, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. We also have the website, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Go there to find a myriad of fantastic things, including a link to where to listen to the show in iTunes. Subscribe to us in iTunes, and when I post a new show, you'll get it instantly. And you can also rate and comment on the show there. There's also the link to where to find us on Facebook. The Facebook page is at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Like the Facebook page, and when I post a new show, you'll get it in your news feed. And share the new show with your friends, and more people will find out about us that way. There's also links to where to find us on YouTube, Yelp, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Stitcher. There's Twitter. And there is the Amazon deal of the day at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. If you click on that and buy something, that helps support the show too. We got the blog and the daily podcast picture as well at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com.
Michael Matthew, I followed your recipe and making this lasagna soup, and I have it right here. Would you like some?
Sure. You just dumped the crock pot all over me. That wasn't very nice, Madame Rootabega.
Well, you know.
Into an interview.
This is Samantha.
Hi, Samantha. It's Mike Matthews with Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hi, Mike.
And you are Samantha Hess, and you like to cuddle, and you know all about the amazing powers of cuddling, and your website's called cuddleuptome.com. That was a fun interview. I called, and I told you everything that you do. So how does that... That's probably the weirdest interview you've had.
I don't know. I've had some pretty weird ones.
Oh, man, I have to aspire to greater. But, no, you're in Portland, and tell us about you and cuddling.
So I offer 30 to 60-minute sessions, fully clothed, completely platonic, and my service is really just about unconditional love and acceptance.
And cuddling.
Absolutely, yeah. So we cuddle on beds, on couches, movie theaters. In the summer, we do park sessions, all sorts of different options.
And is there... you're also... So unconditional acceptance, so also like you're saying reaffirming words too?
Yeah, during the sessions, I focus on a meditative mantra to make sure that my mind is focused directly on my clients. So I'll repeat things in my head like, you are loved, you are accepted, you are worthy. And then at the end of the session, we do a 2-minute game of either a staring game or the repeat game where they can choose to repeat their mantra back to me, back and forth for 2 minutes.
Ah, okay. Wait. So what kind of mantra? Let's say for me, I am like, I guess something, it's like a goal, right? You want to say something reaffirming to...
Right. So like for you, we could say, you are great, you are awesome, and you are worthy. So I would say, I am great, and you would say it back to me.
I am great. Now that's just...
I am awesome. Yeah,
I am so
fantastic.
conceited
Yes.
when I say that.
You get used to it. That's why you have to say it for so long. Because over time, you will learn to accept that that's a true statement. Our subconscious doesn't want us to be wrong, so when we hear ourselves saying something out loud, we choose to believe it because we can't make ourselves wrong. So saying things like that over and over help, kind of beat it into your subconscious. Like, I really am great. I really am awesome. I am worthy.
Wow. Now, mantras... Is it mantra or mantra? I always say mantra.
I say mantra. Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Like the coffee. Samantra. Samantra coffee.
I say coupon as well instead of coupon, if that makes a difference.
Oh, Samantha, I say coupon, and I'll tell you why. When I first got into radio, there was a program director that yelled at me because I said coupon, and he goes, no, you don't say coupon because our competition is Q105, and they're going to think they're giving it away. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And he just completely put me on a whole other path, so I say coupon, because they make me coo.
There you go. For the coupon. My mom is a couponer. Hey, that's okay.
She's in the same coupon. But, so you're in Portland. Did you grow up in Portland?
I grew up in Portland and Lincoln City, so down at the beach.
Oh, nice. Okay, I hadn't been to that. I have not gone there. I've only been to the downtown, but I liked it.
Yeah. Both places I absolutely love. The beach is a town of less than 7,000 people, so it's a great place to visit. Not a great place for me to live, though.
No?
Portland is definitely a good place for me because there's so much more variety. Lincoln City, you have like 5 restaurants and, there's just nothing to do there. You can only go to the beach so many times.
So when you do a cuddling group, are you going to one of the one of the outside cuddling groups? You're going to the parks of Portland and cuddling in the park?
Yeah. So the parks, I do quite a bit in the summertime. Laurelhurst and Mount Tabor are probably the most popular. But really anywhere. I mean, I just bring some blankets and pillows, and it works really well.
And are these blankets that you wash with a nice... I don't know where I was going with that question. Because I like a blanket that's been, put in a dryer and has the bounce in it.
Right, it smells like the dryer sheets. Yeah, totally.
I could totally cuddle on a blanket like that. That's...
Right?
When it smells so good. And if you have a dog, you notice that if you wash your dog's blanket, dogs tend to like that. I don't know if they're actually enjoying that smell or they just get sick of smelling themselves on the blanket. I don't know.
I think that they like the idea of smelling something up over and over. They get to mark their territory nonstop.
Some people say dogs are good cuddlers or cats.
Totally, yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't say that it compares to a human most of the time, but they're great. I live with a cat that cuddles with me all the time.
Now, you're 5 feet tall. Have some of the people you cuddled been, like, extraordinarily huge?
Yeah, I have a client that is 7 feet tall, and I have several clients over 400 pounds.
Whoa!
So either way, yeah. And I'm just tiny. I'm about 115 pounds and just literally the size of a fourth grader. I'm the teeniest. It's ridiculous.
And nothing gets broken.
I'm cuddle size. It totally works. It doesn't matter what size the clients are. I fit. It's awesome.
Did you say you're pillow size?
Cuddle size.
Oh, cuddle size. Oh.
Not quite pillow size.
I'm very, very small. That's why people like to cuddle me, because I look like a pillow. No, you don't look like a pillow. You're very a pretty woman.
Thank you.
And you
I work really hard at that.
Excellent. And tell us what might be in your fitness regimen that makes you so healthy.
Well, I have the strangest diet you've ever heard of. I basically do a modified ketogenic diet, which basically means that I don't eat processed carbohydrates, and I try and get as much fat as I possibly can. So I eat a lot of bacon. Yeah.
What? But doesn't the fat, isn't that like bad fat in bacon? Like, wouldn't you want to eat avocados and fish?
Saturated fat is totally fine for you as long as it's from natural sources. Like, I don't eat vegetable oil or canola oil or olive oil even, because they're liquid at room temperature, and I find that because it's so processed, it's not as healthy for me. So I'll eat coconut oil or butter, fats that are, solid at room temperature.
Interesting, huh? Solid at room temperature. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay. Oil that's liquid, forget about at room temperature.
Yeah. Oils are bad for me. I don't eat them on my diet. I'm also my degree is in fitness, and I'm certified as a personal trainer still. So I'm definitely knowledgeable in the areas of health and fitness.
Wow, so when you cuddle with Samantha, you get you get some great health advice, and it's helping you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
no extra cost.
Kaiser has been running these commercials lately about how you need to get a hug.
Hugs, yeah, I've heard that. It's so true. There are so many studies that prove the benefit of human touch. There's studies that show that touch has an impact on Alzheimer's and ADHD and the diabetic function or metabolic function for diabetics, fibromyalgia, insomnia, depression, anxiety. Besides all the self-worth and all of the acceptance and love that you get, it truly actually benefits you physically.
And when we're cuddling, what's the position? Like, how is the cuddle? Like, am I cuddling you, or you're cuddling me? You're like holding me? Are we standing?
So you can do both or either. It's totally up to you. A lot of people aren't necessarily sure what options there are. I use over 40 different positions in my practice. And that's actually part of why I'm writing a book. My book will be out on Valentine's Day. People can purchase it at cuddleuptome.com. It has 19 of the positions that I use for people to try out.
Oh, interesting. So there'll be pictures.
Yes, there'll be lots of pictures and descriptions and funny names, and it's quite entertaining. It also has all of the facts about touch, the science and psychology behind it, my personal background, and then a lot of information on how to communicate your wants and needs.
Excellent. Now, living in Portland, how many bands do you go see a week perform?
Oh, my goodness. I don't do anything if it's not related to my business. I haven't had a personal life in months. Business is so busy that I'm literally working 80 to 90 hours a week on my business. I'm barely eating or sleeping at this point.
Samantha, and when you are eating and sleeping, it's not liquid at room temperature.
Right. Very true.
It's a salt.
I like when I am not liquid at room temperature, as well as my food.
How do you cuddle in a movie theater? So you are getting to see some movies, I guess, through your business.
I do get to see a few movies. That's true. We have theaters here that have big giant love seats, so we get to just cuddle up on a couch while we watch movies. It's fantastic.
And are these people like married?
A few of them are, yeah. Honestly, my ex-husband probably would not be so if there had been a service like this for me back then.
Really?
I feel like I've actually been able to save some marriages because people that are on the opposite ends of the spectrum for touch have a really hard time finding balance in their relationship without there being cheating and that kind of thing. So my service allows a platonic and safe way for people to meet their touch needs without cheating on their spouse.
Oh, there's like an understanding.
Right, yeah. I definitely recommend that the clients talk about wanting to use my service with their partner before they start sessions. And a lot of my married clients have, created better bonds with their mate and found ways to incorporate touch in their lives so that they don't have to use my service for very long. It kind of is a stepping stone to get them to feel more comfortable in their own skin and in their own relationships.
Well, your website is called... Here, I'm doing it again. So, Samantha, your website, just so you know, is called cuddleuptome.com, which makes sense because it's about cuddling.
Yep.
And
I love the website.
and what else can they find at that website?
So on the website, they can find the details for how to purchase my book. The e-version of it will be available to download on the 14th. The paperback version will come out shortly after that. You can find out all about me. You can find my waiver to figure out what's acceptable and what to expect. And then there's a contact page so that you can message me if you have any questions or would like to set up a meeting.
Samantha, thank you for talking to me. It was very fascinating. And I was like, when I heard about you, I'm like, what?
Thank you. I'm surprised that there's still new concepts like this out there, but this one seems to be a new one, so I'm gonna run with it.
Yay! Well, good luck with it, and I can't wait to I'll take a look at the book and see, maybe get some cool positions.
Yeah, absolutely, and please have me back. I'm opening a retail store in the next couple of months, so I'd love to talk to you about that someday soon too.
I want to hear about that, yes. And I was in Portland about a year ago, so I think I'm due to go back up there and enjoy it. I went, though, when it was really rainy. What's the best time to go to Portland?
July 4th through the end of August is our summer.
Okay.
It's very short.
Gotcha. See, that helped everyone out that might want to go to Portland, because it is a beautiful city from what I saw. And the people were really nice. They weren't cuddling with me. Right. But they were really nice.
They might be this summer. You never know.
It's the summer of cuddling. Thank you.
It is.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Samantha Hess. And your website, once again, if you didn't know, is called cuddleuptome.com.
Great. Thank you so much, Mike.
You are very welcome as we go outside of the last place on earth where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California.
And here's today's podcast picture.
The podcast picture is of the lovely Samantha Hess. You can see her, and she has great taste in summer dresses. And you can see that at MikesDailyPodcast.com.
Michael Matthew, I am sorry for spilling the lasagna soup all over you.
That's all right. I understand. You did it as sort of a performance art statement.
No, I didn't.
You did it to get back at me at saying all those terrible things about The Biggest Loser, which is your favorite show of all time.
No, I didn't.
You did it because you think that's the way to serve lasagna?
Yes, Michael Matthew. Bingo.
Oh. Well, that's not the way to serve lasagna.
Okay, I make a mental note.
Tomorrow we will have another Into an Interview with, this time, a singer. And we'll also hear from Shelley Shuhart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the Engineer.
Mike Matthews, congratulations day.
Why? Did I do something that warrants that?
No, not really. But you got now 56 likes for your Facebook page day.
Yeah, congratulations. Do you know that?
That's great. Thanks, guys. I don't know what to say. 56. Wow, I'm well on my way to 100. And look out, Ryan Seacrest. I'm coming after you.
You know, if you want to be a big popular voiceover artist, you need to get on some television show that makes you lose the weight dramatically day.
Yeah, lose a bunch of weight and look like a skeleton. Do you know that?
No, that's okay.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.
How fragile we are. How fragile we are.